Well, let me hear you say mountain, mountain,
Fire, what you
mountain.
saying?
I read, you know.
Serious thing. We are here, Ballhead and the Dread. Special edition Fire Eye. Remote reasoning here. I know we gave you a reason during the week, but we had to give you some more brain food. Fire, what reason about today?
Gratitude. Yeah, we need to stop being ungrateful. Free up ourselves and make sure so we can bring in some blessings in our life. Because sometimes I really our mind and the way our move and the things that we think, it really drag we down fire. So we need to fresh up yourself, man. Look in the mirror and tell yourself so you feel good and you look good, man. And if you want to smell good, you smell good and free up, man. Don't bother with the negativity. Grateful for life.
I think the source of being ungrateful is comparison.
All people used to say the comparison is a thief of joy.
No, serious thing because I can speak about myself. I don't know about the next person, but anytime that, especially when I was younger, those moments of ungrateful, it was comparison because I was basing my life off of I was basing what was going on with me based on what somebody else had going on. And as you get older, understand fire everybody in their own universe. We interact with each other, don't get it twisted, but everybody think different. And the timing for everything is different. And by doing so, the coldest part about the whole thing, you disregard everything that's going on with yourself.
And that's the beginning where I get them to, because really and truly, when you check the root of why people compare themselves to others is jealousy. And there's no way you can go around it. That jealous trait that you have deep inside of you, it controls your very being, every single fiber in your body, every single atom, every single molecule. Jealousy is the main thing driving all of this comparison. And we don't even understand how it start it make us start get look older. It make us eyes them start look droopy. Our brain start think about something where really I bring we down and it's like self-destruction. Like that's what we understand it.
Fire, I had
Yeah,
a reason.
but serious thing.
No, I'm laughing because this is a serious thing. Listen, I had a reason with I don't know which video it is, so I gotta find the link. I can't tell you like the title offhand, but I had a reason with Yaki. I think it was when I was in St. Louis I asked him this, or when he came to Jersey, not sure. Anyway, we had a reason about the role that jealousy plays in your health. Then he said something very brilliant. I had to go look it up, fire. And it's true. Then I had a reason with Dr. Umar because at that time I was amongst some men one time and listened to him talk, and I said, you know what, yeah. Jealousy kind of causing a lot of health issues out here because the amount of stress that they put on themselves when they're analyzing other people, and they comparing themselves to other people, and they believe they should have what other people have. It's an unhealthy practice, and your body feels the brunt of it. It's the mind stressing out your body because there's no contentment, and you can never be pleased or find the joy and greatness within yourself because you're always analyzing somebody else and what they have going on. And I'm telling you as a man that been through that process. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not telling you nothing that I read. I'm telling you what I experienced in the transition to be at a different state of life with a different level of contentment and peace. Still have ambition, same way. But the difference is that I really acknowledge my achievements. I noticed too in America, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's just a European thing, fire, but people like I don't care what it is. Like they just want to win at whatever things. Majority of the time, it's pointless. Tell you the truth, because the thing that they claim, I don't know, but people have this like desire to just win at whatever they're doing. And majority of times you win and you're really losing. Sad to say, but they don't realize it. And for real, and a lot of times when you think you're losing, you actually won. That's why you gotta sit back and analyze life. And yeah, you need to like take a stock at like what has gone on in your life. I think we have a lot of short-term memory. I know I did, I had to get better at that. But regardless of what I did, I was off to the next thing. Recipe for disaster, you need to take time and celebrate yourself and soak that in. Also too, man, it's just like you can't be looking to the left and looking to the right all the time unless it's done strategically for gaining information. And two, well, I will say this, man, like one of the coolest aspects about the whole thing is that like because we the things we see are so edited, fake, deceptive,
Pretty, you know.
pretty. You're stressing yourself out of something that's not real, you know, and just like you're basing your progress or achievement on something that's not real, and you need to stop doing that.
I know say when I leave myself out of the equation though for you. 'Cause we can't do that, you know. Cause if you think about it, me can say there's been time where I've been so ungrateful, like super ungrateful. Like we really think about it. Even music, like we can speak about all heap of these things, like personally, even music, like when we start the music and we had to do it for a while, one at a time we start to ourselves say, yo, oh we not achieve this, or we not achieve that. And understanding that it bigger than just you. Like there's this thing where you have to do, and it gotta tell. Time will tell. Everybody them say time will tell, and it sound like a cliche, but you have to understand. Said I'm doing this work. This work is bigger than me. At least I have a vision. I have a aim. I have a plan. And we have to stop and think about it. What have you achieved thus far? You still achieve a lot, but sometimes you feel like again it come to competition again because you might feel like your achievements aren't enough because you're judging it to this particular to the holding it to this particular thing, not understanding that that is not meant for you. Certain things aren't meant for you, and what is meant for you will be meant for you. So you have to really accept that, and it's a thing where you have to really learn to accept. And if you don't accept it, then it will eat up your inside and have you think so much different things, and that don't even exist. You know, how crazy it is for you have thoughts about things will not even exist.
And I think we're grown to be very delusional in a bad way. Delusion can be good in the proper context, but not in this context. The reason I say this, it's about 300 million Americans in the country, right? And say, let's say music, right? It's only about 10 spots on the top 10 chart. And usually about two or three, there's an artist there that maybe has 2 or 3 spots at any given time. So say it's only 8 spots available. Now we're groomed to believe that out of 300 million people, we're supposed to be in one of those 8 spots. It's not the math on that's kind of wild, you know. We could do that with sports. So like we're so the culture is that like everything you have to be the best and the greatest at this and that, and that's what cut down the art form a lot of people development, because it's like, but I guess Farah, I guess like the thing I guess people should ask is, what is motivating you to do the thing? Are you motivated to do the thing for the sake of doing the thing and developing the craft? Are you motivated by exterior accolades? Are you motivated by exterior praise? Yeah, you need a certain acknowledgement for what you do, but that can come in many different ways. It may not be coming from whatever the established whatever the system has established as a criteria for praise, the highest praise in the industry. But I think people have to like ask themselves why they're doing stuff, and when they ask themselves why they're doing stuff, maybe their intention is not so genuine like they think.
You know, it's funny because this bring to our next point where like we really have to do some self-analysis. Yeah, man, we have to think about we train our thoughts them and meditate back how every single thing come in our brain. Because you see, if we don't really self-analyze ourselves to the best of our abilities, understand where these thoughts come from in our brain, how things operate in our brain, why we think these particular thoughts, who influence them, get to the root of the matter, understanding that your thoughts are all we have or whatever takes place in our brain, regardless if we believe it or not, it's recycled thoughts. That idea exists somewhere within the atmosphere or the energies. As energy is not new, it's just traveling. So we have to understand that we got these things from different places, and there's good influences and bad influences according to the region, according to the situation. So think about all of these things, but because the system training for move so fast, I will always on the go. We never take time for actually put no energy and emphasis on ourselves. Something might even do it most of the time, and we just keep on going and try to push to it. So we have to really stop for a second, ask ourselves some questions and reason with ourselves and know, say, yo, certain things that we're doing right now, just be grateful for the basic elements of life, and stop be so ungrateful and make it seem like the world is ending all the time, and you're this target and this and everybody is against you, the system is against you, and the world is against you. We can't always have that defensive mode. Sometimes we have to really attack things, and the only way to attack certain situation is to be realistic about it and know the role that you play. in these situations and how you can even move forward and straighten up. But you have to find some things to be grateful for before you can straighten up, or else you're going to stay depressed. I tell you that.
Yeah, you have to have a certain level of flexibility to you. Um, I think that's one of my good traits. For I could kind of work with the program. I think that we get so tied into our expectations and we forget the aspect called life, which we have no control over. So it's like when things happen, it's like, why did this happen? But why didn't it happen? Things happen. Fight is life. You know what I'm saying? You just hear. So I think there's an aspect to mixed with the gratitude. There's an aspect of letting go. You have to be open to things happening, and you have to give room to things happening. What I learned in my personal life is that you may have a goal still. I'm not saying you're not walking around here like without no intention in it, but when you kind of just let's work with the program and go with the flow. More things happen than you're forcing things to happen. I don't know the science behind the universe. Right? I don't know if you block out. I don't know the science behind it. But the more you force stuff and the more you have this mind frame like this has to happen, it's not gonna happen.
There's a pushback because
Yeah.
overstand there's a mystic in them say faith and works it go hand in hand, and
Yeah.
sometimes you have to have the faith. There's a certain things that go work out in due time, and you just playing the blocks and putting that foundation to it, and then somehow certain things will happen. But it's not like you're looking for a pie in the sky thing, but you're actually putting that foundation, and you can hope the end result come tomorrow at 12 o'clock within this particular environment and location. That's not realistic. We really sit down and think about it. It's just we are trying to force that.
And you brought up a great point because some people are very good at letting go and submitting, but they don't do no work. But the people who do the work, they struggle with the submitting part. So it's like, yo, we need to go work together and strengthen up each other so we can balance out those things, Because you have some people out there with some mighty faith, but they're not doing the work. And you have some people that's doing the work and they faith flow. And there's different levels to this faith thing fight. I'm telling you, there's different levels of just really submitting and trusting. And a lot of us don't trust. We really don't. We feel like we're controlling. I think the more you accept your limitations in regards to control, is the more control you have. In the sense that you have a deeper understanding how this game go. And you're not stressing out yourself. Come to fight that expectation. Listen, that jealousy and expectation is a wicked combination, yeah. And it gets your organs out of here real quick. Too much stress. The idea that we have how things should be. And when they're not like that, we struggle with it, we're fighting with it, and it's just like, it's just a very, it's a and it robs you of your peace too, because I can see in people's eyes when they're stressed out fighting. When I see them and the energy off. And it's like, yeah.
Like the world upon them shoulder.
Yeah. But it's really an internal conflict fire, because if you were to break them down, I'm saying every man have his own issues still, but they disregard everything going on. They disregard everything going on for them good, and they just focus on this aspect that's not going the way. That's not going their way. I've been there, fire. So I'm telling you from personal experience. I'm not, I've done this, and it's a recipe for disaster.
Enough people hear them say cleanliness is godliness, and them think about it just from a physical perspective and not even overstand. Say, yo, we talk about cleanliness, you have to talk about it. Your sisters say clean up your heart and come. And it's not a joke thing. You have to clean up your mind and like cleanse your mind, and then that's how the whole godliness thing flow from within the mind. Enough people not even overstand that fire. Like certain things you have to just think about it and it just happen. Like much time we're in some situation and we would have set our brain upon this thing and it just take place. And again, it's not like we're at one extreme where we're not doing the work, because that's not realistic. Faith without works is dead, as them always say. Same way. We have to think about these things for you. Oh, the balance what they mentioned right, they say is very important. We have to call the energy, put in some work and lay the foundation. And it's not going to be perfect. Nobody's saying it to be perfect. And you have there's more than one emotions, of course. There's happiness, there's sadness, there's so much different emotions. But we talk about one emotion controlling your body, and then that is where we really break you down.
Fire, this reasoning just made me think, right? Is that expectation and that stress, a person stressing themselves out because things are happening in the time frame that they want, It's too that they want the time frame, then they want it to happen a certain way. Is that because of lack of faith and your inability to trust things to play out with the work fight? I want to be clear. I gotta keep emphasizing it. I'm not telling people say, "Oh, rent gonna be at your doorstep tomorrow" type energy. I don't want people to say that. But is that example of your lack of faith? Because lack of faith goes in with the lack of patience.
Yes, man. Then that is a lack of faith for sure. Because remember, say faith is really seeing that outcome, Because you can have that vision all you want, You have the vision, But the faith is that final output, And you have to see that final output. But you see the moment when you start draw back and then the stress start control it, it's because you feel like that vision is no longer attainable. And once you feel like that vision is no longer attainable, you're going to stress about it. Because you say, okay, look at the circumstances now. Remember, it's just now you're focusing on. So faith is always that faith is the end result. Sometimes that end result is not now. So if you just focus on now, then that faith will seem like a far goal, and it's just like the finishing line keep on being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So it's a lack of faith in a sense.
Yeah. Not serious thing, man. So people tuned in, man. We really encourage you for this year going into the 2025 to be very grateful, to really love yourself. And that's in that we didn't even get into comparing yourself to people in regards to the visual aspect, but stop comparing yourself to people. Fight everybody in a different boat. Some people have help, some people don't have help. Some people have time to work out, some people don't. Some people have a support system, some people don't. Some people in different economic groups. Some people have the cheat code. They're doing surgery, doing all type of craziness. So, but the thing is, because what people do to default is that they like to criticize people that's better than them, and that at a particular thing. I don't mean better than them in the totality of the human being, but better. That's like their justification to get through life, And you don't have to criticize anyone for it. They just doing their thing. That's it. And you doing your thing. Just make sure you're doing something on your side. And what you're doing doesn't need to be at the same level of them. You could use them for inspiration, but just do the best you can. I think that's what we need to focus on. I think more goals would be reached if you consistently did the best you could. If you held yourself accountable and really created a system, it's all about system and self-love for 2025. Created a sustainable system that would lead or heighten the probability of you achieving that goal or end goal, whatever it is, and you really stuck to it on a daily basis, I think things would be much different. I think we don't acknowledge our inconsistencies. So we have the inconsistent behavior, but we still locked into the same outcome. And that outcome can't come with inconsistent behavior, because the person who has been experiencing that outcome has consistent behavior. We like Gretchen and Fire. We like competing with the we like competing with the look and the outcome. We all like competing with what they doing on a daily basis, as they refer to as the process.
Say they touch a really important point for you, because just a reason with some youth about the same thing, because I'm gonna tell you about the next artist, like from an artistry perspective, and you don't realize it. 5 days pass and you don't practice, and that man that you are even looking at to try to size up and compete against practice every single day out. How can you tell me that you are even why are you even having a conversation in the first place? Because if you don't are consistent with this thing and do this thing over and over, if you have any man that play instrument can tell you have to touch that every single day. It have to become a part of you. You have to feel it within your core. Remember, even knife, that's I love the reason with knife, but the core, the importance of the core, you have to feel it to the core. And understand that this has become you right now. Like even Tough Gang, same way with them, the works what them man they do, them man they did have a deep in the music, same way, even if it and to a levels where it even becomes so extreme that him have to neglect certain basic foundations. But nonetheless, a man have a deep within the core, and then you see the achievement based on a global scale. That's how the achievement come.
Yeah, I think that like as I said earlier, now that we're talking, I said, you know what? People more got an issue with the end goal, all right, but they don't have an issue with the work to get to that goal on that side of town. And focus on that. Then if you're gonna encourage a person to compare to the work that they put in, the work you put in. That's what you need to go compare, or you need to go ask them and find out, since you're in their business so much.
Yeah, check the formula. What is the formula to get these things? And when nobody asks the formula, just a propaganda either. Make sure it can be a formula where you can try to apply it to your own life and systems as well. Say engage within your own system. Create a system for yourself. What is it that you do every day that contributes to your success? If you can't think about 5 things where you do every day will contribute to your success, you haven't started moving towards success as yet.
And I think that too, man. Since we're talking about going into 2025, um, you can have, I don't like the term New Year's resolution, but whatever goal you have, make sure you take time to map out and write out a system of how to achieve that goal that's sustainable. Sustainable. I'm not talking about you could do it for a week and you're gonna pop down, or you could do it for 3 days and it's just not realistic for you. Figure out what's realistic for you. Had a reasoning with Sishkin recently, and we're talking about this workout thing and how it's so dangerous because she said, and I paraphrasing, women are comparing themselves to a woman who works out 7 days a week. Her livelihood is to work out and look a certain way. You have children, you have a job. That's 8-9 hours done right there. You know, not saying that she shouldn't work out, but you have to create a system that's best for you. So she works out 7 days a week. Maybe you only can work out 3 days, but the thing is, you have to hold yourself accountable and make sure you work out those 3 days consistently moving forward and be happy within that. So what happens now, you should find glory and find joy in the fact that the system that you created or the criteria you have for yourself, that you accomplished it and achieved it. But we won't do that. We'll do that, achieve it, which should be praised because very few people actually stick with something. But we're still mad because we don't have what's going on that side of town. Two different situations, you know. So I think that ties in what we said earlier in regards to comparison and everything. And we wish everybody the best. And I really, from my heart, for the brothers and sisters out there, I really encourage you to. It's so liberating. It really is, man. It's liberating, and you have more confidence in your step. That swag, especially for the brothers. A lot of the brothers pop down because like you don't do nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't really be proud of yourself because you're cheating yourself and playing around. Like stick to something, fight. Stick to something for 4 weeks consistently. Hey, I do this on this day. Whether it's reading, working out, cooking, meditating, whatever, outside of your 9 to 5. Do it for a month, and I'm telling you, you're gonna have more vibe to you.
Yeah, self-love, man. Just no say, just love yourself. You can't say you love yourself, but you don't do any action to show that you love yourself. And that is the ultimate room that you're giving towards inconsistency, towards ungratefulness. It's like you're bringing in all of these different things in your life and don't even understand that you are the one bringing in this, but you're wondering where it's coming from. You have to love yourself.
And I'm not sure if I said this earlier. If all right, please correct me if I did. But for those who are out here sticking with a goal, fire, salute to you. One, you have to celebrate it. This is something that I learned, fire. Like this is something I haven't done for years. I just started doing this like probably this year. Like celebrate your successes. We got a lot of stuff going on. Like one of the things is that like depending on your household and the whole vibe with your parents and all that, and it's a bunch of other stuff, but have to celebrate your successes. Things you actually stick with and achieve, then tend to go, I don't care if it took you a day, it took you 10 years, you have to celebrate it. And celebrate the smaller things too.
Oh, you know, something very important that just bring to my brain, and I meant to say this from the other day. Like, you see, a lot of people, kudos to a whole bunch of people who, in a certain age, achieving a whole bunch of stuff, because one thing we start realize is that this concept of time again, so many people placing emphasis on time that they don't understand. They can't control time. Time of more variables than you. Time is broader than you. You can't control time. Time will control you, because a lot of people are seeing achieving it, whether it be degrees, whether it be certain hosts or whatever you might be, anything at all you might be looking to achieve. And I see people going to achieve these things at a later stage in their life. It shows that it's never too late. It's never too late to achieve what you want. And I don't see that from any idealistic perspective. I'm talking about realistic perspective. It's not because you reach 50 means say you can't do this again. Not because you reach 60 means you can't do all of these different things. No, it might mean say you have to put in more work. Mindset means that you have to go really get a mindset now we can foster this type of success where you aim and yearn for. But it's never too late, and I feel like that is one thing a whole bunch of people. No, some reach 60 now, can't do this again. And because you tell yourself so you can't do it, it's almost like nothing else will work. And that's the one thing, if you don't love yourself and you tell yourself a whole bunch of negative things, there's nothing that will work for you in your life. Believe me.
We need to do a special edition on self-love and proper ways to talk to yourself, healthy ways to talk to yourself. I think that's a little episode we need to do in the future.
Reality.
Well, this is another special edition here, Ballhead and the Dread. We give thanks for everyone supporting the thing from those times. So now make sure you check out the reasons from those times and this time. Appreciate all the support.
Yes, sir.
Hold on for